Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, welcome back to my channel. This is Lord Governor 922 and on this channel we do miscellaneous videos. So today we're going to do a book review that I read a couple months ago. It's an e-book called Who Murdered Sarah Barton. So I have a scripture and I'm going to be trying not to read from the script, but I'm going to give you the gist first of the book. So there's this woman, she's found dead in her kitchen in her home by her divorce lawyer. And as a result, the divorce lawyer calls his FBI friend or his lawyer friend to come and help him out. Upon arrival on the scene, they find the woman dead in the kitchen, bleeding out, and the lawyer, the divorce lawyer, downstairs. And obviously, naturally, they interrogate him first. And he said no, she had called him over to discuss her divorce with her husband. At that moment, her husband has returned, Mr. Barton, and he's cold and his demeanor is very nonchalant, like he doesn't care that his wife has died. So this casts suspicion onto the husband. The genre of this ebook is that it's a very it's a courtroom drama, so most of the evidence and stuff happens in the court. And so naturally, being me, I don't really like courtroom dramas. I'm more of thrillers and mysteries and all of that. So courtroom dramas really kind of bore me, but I decided to read the book in any case because I purchased it from Playbooks. I think it's free now. So they then discover that the victim, Sarah Barton, has a twin sister named Hannah, and she's a very famous actress. And she's been hound dogged by paparazzi everywhere she goes. But they interrogate her as well and find out that her alibi checks out. They're still figuring out the husband's alibi, but they are seeing him as good for the murder. In this time, the lawyer, who his wife has died, is feeling guilty and having like post-traumatic stress disorder, and he can't live without her and he's lonely. And in this loneliness, Hannah Barton, this twin, comes to his hotel room and they start a sexual relationship. I'll tell you what my thoughts are on it in a bit. And then um, the courtroom drama. In the time of this courtroom drama where this case is taking place, because they're now trying Mr. Barton, there is a similar lesser known case which is not really relevant to the question to the story, sorry, but there's a 9-year-old girl. She's a witness to a gang shooting outside her family home. She's pulled in as a witness, and they give her witness protection and send her somewhere else so she can put this guy in jail. They get him in jail because this lawyer has a very good track record when it comes to winning cases. But however, with the Sarah Barton case, is having a very weird feeling, even though not only morally but legally, because he is sleeping with the sister, it might give him bias. So naturally, they have sex and all of that, and then obviously they find out who the real killer is at the end, which I will tell you at the end of this video. And who you think it is not who it is, but if you have read enough crime dramas, you can sort of kind of skulk out who the killer is. But we're going to get into the review now. So, like I said before, I don't like courtroom dramas, but this was like kind of gripping to a sense. It did retain my attention. The writing of the author was very clinical, so the sex scenes weren't very passionate. It wasn't very not a lot of thought was woven into the sex scene. And what I found was in almost every chapter there was a sex scene between the lawyer, who is spiritually corrupt and emotionally corrupt, and feeling guilty for having the sexual affair with the twin sister Hannah. Um, that does come into play later on. The turns out that Sarah and the divorce lawyer and some other guy were having an affair, and the husband found out and he wanted to end things, or he wanted to do other things, and he kind of pissed off. So what I'm going to say now is I hate the twin trope. I think the twin trope is done like so many thrillers and mysteries and missing persons books have revolved around the twin trope. The older guy, younger woman trope, which is Mr. Barton and Sarah Barton, don't like it at all. The lonely stardom woman in distress, don't like it at all. I think it's very boring. I think it's very overrated and overdone. The only thing that kept me going was the fact that I wanted to know who. Obviously, I was right as who I chose to was the killer because I already predicted in the first two chapters who the murderer was, and I was glad that I was right, obviously. So, but I want to see where I was right. I just want to see how it will unfold. And I didn't like the lawyer very much. I thought he was very hedonistic. That he's, even though I understand his wife is dead, but he's in love with his detective, his partner. Hey, how you got going detectives? His law partner. His friend is a detective, the FBI. Why is he then going on and having a sexual affair with the Hannah Barton when he's in love with his co-worker? Then I realized that because it's racially based, she's a little bit darker, and he's afraid that he'll be judged for dating her, and he's coming across as covertly racist. What covertly means is internal. So he's being nice to her and he's in love with her, but internally he's can't grapple with the fact that she's black. And in the same age group, so Sarah Barton, Hannah Barton, and this law firm partner are like a couple of years apart. They're all in their 30s, right? He's going towards his 40s, and his partner is going like towards his 50s or 60s. His FBI partner. So the fact that he finds evidence, because the divorce lawyer has gone MIA, right? And they find him, and he's ragged, and he's living in this rundown town in the middle of nowhere. It's cold, and he looks like he's really been going through it. And he refuses to testify, right? Because he found out that Sarah, who he was in love, plus he was married, um, was having an affair with another guy. And they only want to talk to him because they found footage of his wife coming down that street at that particular time, which they thought was the time of the murder. So they, after some haggling, he agrees, but then a couple of weeks later, they find him dead randomly in a forest somewhere, in a park somewhere. So that is a dead end. Okay, why am I talking so weird? So, now problem number one, twin trope, hated. Problem number two, the love triangle, hated. Problem number three, the age gap trope, hated. The problem number four, the morally correct lawyer who does amoral things to cope with his loss of his wife, hate it. It's been done to death, over and done with. Courtrooms aren't that it is gripping, but it's not gripping enough to keep my attention. The sex scenes were very clinical. The movement from chapter to chapter was very clinical. There wasn't any emotion put behind it. It seems like the book was written in a rush. I could be wrong, but it seems to me that the book was written in a rush just to get to the point that Arthur just wanted to get done. Uh, I don't like the sex scene. I think the sex scenes could have been limited to just one or two, or maybe three encounters, and then the reveal. So because as they try Mr. Barton, they're going through the evidence again, and this other lawyer, the divorcer, I think his name is Peter. He had left some evidence that uh, the lawyer that found the body uh, decides to dig up. In this process, the lawyer is trying to speak to the wife of the divorced lawyer. Keep up, keep up. I know there's a lot of characters. Okay, we're going to call the divorced lawyer John. We're going to call the divorced lawyer's wife Mary, Rachel, and we're going to call the prosecutor Peter, and we're going to call the FBI detective Jake, right? I hope I can remember that. So, John's wife Rachel has had many interrogations with Peter, but has refused to give any information up as to why she was in that street at that time. So, after so many interrogations, you think some information will come to light which hasn't, and that leads you to believe that it was just a scene put in. It's a filler scene, so it was put in there to move the to get the number count, the word count, or the chapter quotient ratio, so that the story can move along. The sex scenes were too much. Almost every chapter, it wasn't in the. It was like this. There were fights. There were fights between Hannah and Peter, but it wasn't passionate. It was all devoid of emotion, so devoid of conflict. It doesn't like how do I what to compare it with? Like if you read A Court of Thorns or A Court of Flowers, whatever the book is called, you can feel the tension in the book. You can feel the build up, the crescendo, and the climax. It's just build up and then climax. So there's no in between, which is kind of boring. So eventually, the after finding all these pictures, he gets a little frustrated because he can't find any answers. So he takes the pictures back to his law firm and he continues to like try to prosecute Mr. Barton, who is so dead and cold, and he gives him the snarly looks and his ugly like expressions, and like he's just very cooperative, even very quiet in court. Anyway, after a long day of being in court with Mr. Barton, because nothing really happens there, he comes back to the office and he starts rifling through the pictures again. And he sees like naked pictures of Sarah. Now you see there was a video that Sarah had made. It was made of Sarah with her other boyfriend. So that's how was the part of her she was having an affair. So he decided he's gonna go through the video and filters again. And he sees something really weird, right? It catches him off guard because this is he has knowledge of this without having knowledge of it. So he goes the next day and he calls Hannah Barton to the stand. Now obviously she's going to give like testimony, which is according to everybody not really relevant because she wasn't really involved in the murder in her sister's life for quite some time. So he starts questioning her, and he starts questioning her about her body, which makes everybody uncomfortable. And then he reveals like Sarah didn't have. Sarah had a surgical cut on one of her breasts. I'm not sure for what, but in the photos that Sarah was having affairs with, it showed the surgical cut showed on her breast, on her left breast. I think even in the video you could see it, and which puts him in a compromising position because he was sleeping with Hannah. And he's like, but do you have a surgical cut on your breast? And she goes quiet. The life leaves her eyes. I think this part was okay. I think this part was good. That's why I'm saying the sex part shouldn't have been so much because I think you need only two sex scenes to really build up in the reader's mind that okay, you want to make it obvious. You want to make it like it must be ambiguous. You must like wonder why they're having sex with the witness. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the point of doing almost every chapter is kind of boring, but yes, the point that she used or he used, I can't remember the author's name. I'm sure I'll see that somewhere. I'll find it. I think it was TJ something. And so the author used sex as a way to reveal that Hannah was actually Sarah. And because Sarah wanted out of her marriage and away from her husband, even though her husband knew it was obviously he's gonna know it's Sarah because he has been sleeping with her for so long. He knew it was Sarah that wasn't dead on the floor. That's why he was so cold and so like because that's my wife. My wife's dead. And so Sarah had plotted to kill her, called her sister over, killed her sister herself, called the divorce lawyer over, called her husband over, and then fucked off. She wanted a new life. She wanted to get away from her abusive husband. She wanted her sister's life essentially, which was an actress, and didn't have to deal with a man. Now, it is an interesting book, but it's not meaty enough. It's boring. It's like reading this courtroom drama. It's like I've read a million courtroom dramas. I mean, You could have spiced it up a little bit. You could have made it look like Hannah committed suicide in Sarah's house, and then to frame Sarah for murder, and then but no, it's just like bang, bang, bang. So it's too clinical, it's too unemotive, it's too predictable. It uses all the tropes that other courtroom dramas or mysteries or murderous true crime books have used before. It wasn't really. I don't think it was planned out very well. It was too rushed. It was an okay book. Like I will give it out of 10. I'll give it three and a half. Three and a half should be good enough. I would recommend it, but I wouldn't recommend it to everybody. I think it's for a certain type of person. I think it's for a person who's not really get invested in the stories. It's for someone who likes to get to the point quickly. It's for someone who doesn't enjoy the ride. It's for someone who is used to predictability and is used to certain things like creature comforts and stuff when it comes to books, that they have to know this is how the book progresses, and every book they should read should progress that way. So yeah, thank you for watching my review. I'm by no means a reviewer. It's just my take on a ebook that I have downloaded before, and obviously you have to make your own choices. I'll do it for you. But thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment and share, and help me get to 2 million subscribers so I can approach sponsors. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Mwah.